Hi, my name is Jenna Thompson, and this is my curriculum design project for TL 540, Theory and Philosophies of Curriculum at the University of North Dakota. And this is called Play to Learn, an emergent curriculum for children birth to 5 years old. The organization overview for this new curriculum: it is a nonprofit organization that actually runs 6 early learning centers in the Southwest Florida area, including in Lee, Glades, and Hendry counties. The center that is working with this curriculum most is in Lee County on a college campus, which has the support of both the college and the organization, but is entirely run by the organization with the exception of maintenance and security, which are run by the college. The center accepts children 6 weeks old to 5 years old. Currently, there are 105 children enrolled in the center, ranging from 9 weeks old to 5 years old. There's a large population of European and Middle Eastern cultures, and there are 3 children with documented special needs, including one 11-month-old who has hearing aids, a 1-year-old with a neurological condition affecting her physical and cognitive development, and a 4-year-old with a trach tube who requires a full-time nurse with her. Not all of the children at this center are affiliated with the college. Only about 25% have college affiliation, whether their parents are students or staff. It is open to the public and accepts state-funded subsidized care recipients. Also has a scholarship program for eligible families to help offset the cost of childcare. The current conditions for change is that the chief operating officer of the organization has noticed a change in the practices within the classrooms and wants there to be a more unified front on how children are educated within the centers. The chief operating officer is a big advocate for play, and right now she's noticing that there is less play, there's more sitting, more structure, more rigor, more assessment in the preschool classrooms especially, and she does not believe that that is the most developmentally appropriate way to approach childcare and early learning. Thus, she's pushing for more developmentally appropriate practices within centers, including more play, less rigor, less assessment, and just more fun and open environments for the kids to learn. At this center, there is a pilot play project classroom, where one classroom is entirely based on child-initiated learning and play. The children have about 3 to 4 hours a day of free play, as opposed to other classrooms that might have an hour or less. Also, the current curriculum that is being used by the organization is turning to a more project-based approach, and the projects that they are creating are not necessarily appropriate nor cost-effective. If you want to use their projects, you have to buy a certain project book, you have to buy the books that go along with the project book, and you go based on a cookie cutter script of what to say, what to do day by day. This is definitely not cost effective for these centers, as they are run by a nonprofit, and it doesn't help that the projects are based on things like balls and blocks and buildings and can last for weeks to months. The implementation of curriculum. This quote from 0 to 3 really shows how to implement this curriculum and why it's important for a curriculum like this to be in early learning centers. The quote says, "Babies are born learning. Very young children are learning through play, the active exploration of their environment, and most importantly, through interactions with significant adults in their lives. In these interactions and explorations, children from birth to 3 are learning and developing a solid foundation for future learning in their lives as well." And as the teachers implement this curriculum in the classroom, it is important to remember that this curriculum is a working model and can be changed as deemed necessary for the children within the classroom. There are many stakeholders within this curriculum, especially at this organization, because there's a board of directors that does expect answers when things are changed. There are also people at the college who are interested in early childhood education, and have a stake in the Child Care Center itself, as well as the Early Learning Coalition and other early learning administration that monitors the progress and quality of centers within this area. The implementation of this curriculum would start at the preschool level, then work down to the 3-year-olds, the 2-year-olds, the toddlers, and the infants. By starting at the preschool level, the teachers will better understand the use of guided play as a method for teaching pre-kindergarten skills. This will be the hardest group to start the guided play with because of the expectations of kindergarten readiness. However, by starting at this level, then filtering it down to the other levels, it will be a much easier transition for the other classrooms if they can see that it's been successfully implemented in the older classroom. There's also a strong tie-in to the state standards using the Florida Early Learning and Developmental Standards for 4-year-olds, as well as the Florida Early Learning and Developmental Standards for birth to 3-year-olds. Teacher and staff development. The professional development will be online and in person. A lot of it will be based on guided play. If you are unaware of the concept of guided play, it was introduced and defined by Hirsch, Pasek, and Galinkoff in 2011, and it's when educators structure an environment around a general curricular goal that is designed to stimulate children's natural curiosity, exploration, and play with learning-oriented objects and materials. Guided play just gives the teachers the opportunity to play with the children, to encourage their development of different skills by extending and enhancing the play, which helps the teacher tie in standards, developmental skills, and expectations. To combat the struggle with a less structured environment that often surrounds play, guided play is thus an option for teachers that will help them not only to encourage children to play more, but also help them to achieve the standards put forth for children to be ready for kindergarten. The importance of child-initiated learning and play will also be discussed in the professional development. Another key component of the teacher and staff development will be mentoring. With this organization, there are already mentor teachers in place in both the infant, toddler, and the preschool classrooms. And these mentors will help the teachers to successfully implement this curriculum and focus on having a developmentally appropriate practice within the classroom. There will be little to no extra cost for this professional development because the trainers will be from the organization itself, including the mentor teacher at the current center who has been working in the pilot play classroom and has already completed presenting one training to about 60 early childhood educators on the importance of play and how to play in preschool. The selection of books and materials for this will be selected by the teachers and the director. Little to no added cost for this center because the materials and books are already at the center. A lot of materials, books, dramatic play props, blocks, art supplies, anything that could possibly be imagined is probably already at the center because it was all donated by a teacher who retired after 25 years with the organization. So the center has an abundance of materials to use in order to implement this curriculum successfully. We would also ask for donations before purchasing anything, including from families, community members, and the college. The college has a tendency to donate a lot of things to the center, such as office supplies, envelopes, paper, and recycled materials, containers, things of that nature. Also, in relation to books about the children's interests, if we don't have the book, there are many libraries within our area with large amounts of children's books, as well as we participate in the Scholastic Reading Club, in which the center receives points for every dollar spent by parents, and that helps us to build classroom libraries. content and teaching method implementation based on children's interests, and the content ties into the children's interests. So everything that the children are interested on, there will be science tied in and technology tied in, math, engineering, language, literacy, woven into what they're already doing in the classroom, as well as those specific things they're interested in, such as animals or zoos or transportation. The use of guided play with the teacher in the classroom. The teacher plays an important role in not only the implementation of the curriculum, but also the guided play and how the play progresses within the classroom. Teaching methods also depend on the children's needs and looking at the whole child approach in the classroom. A quote from Piccolo and Test about mathematics and using blocks to teach math is that block play is one common example that engages problem solving. This is then an example of how to incorporate problem solving and critical thinking skills into the curriculum without having to be rigorous, developmentally inappropriate, or have children lack focus due to inattention or disinterest. And you're also teaching to the whole child, not solely academics or solely developmental. You have to tie them both together and teach it all. Philosophical underpinnings. This curriculum is very heavily based on pragmatism, with child-initiated hands-on learning, including discovery, exploration, and a lot of free choice. From Cohen in 1999 on page 2, for pragmatists, teaching methods focus on hands-on problem-solving, experimenting, and projects, often having students work in groups. Curriculum should bring the disciplines together to focus on solving problems in an interdisciplinary way. This curriculum will be somewhat easier to apply at the preschool level, but it could be applied at the kindergarten and first grade level with increased professional development. Teachers and staff have a strong role in this curriculum. I love the idea from Noddings on page 184. We know that teachers are not just conveyors of instructional treatments, managers of classroom activities, distributors of resources, lecturers, and disciplinarians. This definitely plays a role in this curriculum. We're in the classroom not to solely give them information, but to make sure they're safe, to love, care, respect them, and give them an education that extends beyond content and academics. There's also large flexibility in this curriculum as it is based on the uniqueness of each child. I wholeheartedly agree when it is said that Dewey wanted education to be fitted to each child. It's from Noddings on page 7. It's important that we take everything that children do and learn and how they learn into account when we are creating curriculum and composing activities and ideas for children to gain knowledge. Overall, this is a play-based, child-initiated curriculum for classrooms aged birth to 5. This is an emergent curriculum, so it can be changed, and it's flexible for teachers. It is not a cookie cutter, every classroom will look the same kind of curriculum. This is an emergent learning curriculum where teachers will adjust the curriculum based on the needs of not only the children in the room, but the center and what's available and things like that. This is primarily used in childcare centers and early learning centers. The focus is definitely not only on academic content, but development skills as well in using the whole child approach. And the use of guided play with a environment that is created for play with open-ended materials and large amounts of professional development for teachers so that they're comfortable playing and they show that comfort to the children so that the children are willing to take risks and do what they need to do to learn. And these are the references used for this curriculum. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you.